Hi everyone, I'm Cassidy Harris, Public Relations Director, and if you've ever been driving around Columbia County wondering what this public hearing sign is for or what the planning department does, we're going to learn more. Today's episode of A to Z and CC is with the planning department. Join me and let's go learn more. Joining me today is Planning Manager Will Butler, and we want to talk to you about the Planning Department, what zoning means, and any public hearings that may be in your area. So if you would, just give us a general overview. What is planning?
So planning is basically the built environment. What does everything look like in some regards? What can you put on a piece of property? And then how we want to grow as a community. That is, generally speaking, a very broad view of planning itself.
And there are very specific requirements when it comes to development, new businesses coming to the area. Your team basically works with the developer, the business owner, the entrepreneur to determine whether or not what they're interested in is the correct property zoning, and you kind of handhold them along the way.
So the first thing to have with you is know where you want to go. You have an idea of, I'm looking at this property here or this one here. We'll basically look at the zoning and say, does this business fit within this category? Again, zoning allows for multiple things typically. It could be retail, restaurants, medical, etc. But having that is a good thing, and having more than one option, always a good thing. And then it's more of, let's get into, if it is going to work here, how we make that happen potentially, or if it isn't going to work at all, basically we'll tell you up front. We're not going to basically lead you down a path. It's not going to work. The way that I view it and the way that we kind of view it as well is that we're going to be there from when you start your project. Like if you're going from basically raw ground to actual construction, going vertical, building a site, we're going to be with you from the beginning of it. We're going to walk you through if you have to rezone it. We're going to be there for that with you. Then the site plan process and building plan process, we're going to be there for that. So it's one that you're going to be working with us for the entire project, and even at the end of it, we are typically one of the last reviewers off the site doing landscape review. So we're going to be there for the whole thing. If you got questions, let us know. We're here to help throughout the process.
Right, and you work really closely with plan review, permitting, licensing. So all of you kind of look at it as a grand scheme of things in each part, correct? How does that work?
Yeah, so I mean, with a review like for a rezoning or a variance, we're sending out what they want to do to basically 12 departments. I mean, it includes basically anybody that touches anything for development is going to be looking at it. We, in some ways, coordinate some of that with the rezoning process or variance. On the plan review side, really similar, that kind of transfers to another department, but it's within our division. But again, it's one that we do look at it from a holistic view. That's kind of how we view things, the way that we think in planning. So.
For public hearings, for that piece of it, why would you have a public hearing? Why is that necessary?
It's basically required by law. That's really the bigger part of it. But you have that so that people are informed about what's going on, again, knowing what's coming in next to your house potentially. And again, it's part of the process. The public can come in and weigh in on it. They're coming in and saying, here's what we want to do. Staff is saying, does this fit or not? Here's the reasons why or why not. And then the public's allowed to comment on it. It's one that we've seen things that maybe staff says this is great, the public says we don't want this, and it ends up not happening. I mean, it's one that basically being allowed to petition your government in some regards and have input on how you want your community to grow is a big part of that.
So you have public hearings for rezonings, for variances.
Conditional use, that's like for a liquor store. And then we also have variations. Those are a public hearing, but they're basically for architecture.
And you have to advertise them how far in advance?
So it depends on what it is. If it's a variance, state law changed a year or two ago. That now requires 30 days notice with the newspaper. You're basically looking in the Augusta Chronicle 30 days out from the date of the meeting itself. Rezonings, are 15-day notice. And again, the sign, that's usually what most people see. That's going to be on the property 15 days before the public hearing, no matter what, if it's a variance or a rezoning.
If someone is interested in learning more about a public hearing, why is it in their neighborhood or next to their business? I know you offer a public hearings map that's available on the website that people can go to and get background information, learn when it's coming to Planning Commission, going to the Board of Commissioners. Is that correct?
So from that map, you can view everything that the applicant has given us. Anything that they give us is public information. So you can basically go in there and see exactly what they're doing, read their narrative or whatever they put in there. Again, we're always going to say if you've got questions, give us a call. It's usually the easiest thing to do, or send us an email, either one. But that's usually how we want to approach that. And again, folks will send us emails to basically put in the staff recommendation or put in the packet for the Planning Commission. Those can be things that are they're in favor or against an application, but again, those are going to be seen by both commissions.
Right, and that public hearings map can be found on the home page of the website. It is one of the icons that you see going across the homepage banner. For any type of educational outreach sessions, you offer those as well. Can you speak to that?
So we have we basically call them classes. They're 101, 102, 201, that kind of thing. They cover things like the rezoning process, the comprehensive plan, commercial development. We basically have those, generally speaking, once a month. But if you're interested in that, send us an email, give us a call. We'll tell you when everything's available, and we'll get signed up for it.
Right, and he was saying it's zoning 101, zoning 201, it's residential, non-residential. It kind of encompasses everything. And those are also included on the county website on the calendar. So if you're interested in what's coming up, we encourage you to look at the events calendar. As far as the comprehensive plan, we are in the process of updating that, and it's called Foundations for the Future. I know we've wrapped up our community surveys. Can you talk to us about next steps and what the public can kind of look forward to?
So right now we're in the draft phase. Basically we're taking in all the comments. We're basically writing the plan, the draft of the plan itself. We'll be seeing something for the public side of it, but again, it's a very crucial time for that process at this point.
One common misconception people have is that you're responsible for the type of businesses that are coming here, when it really is we're responsible for determining whether or not the zoning is appropriate, and the developer or the business owner is responsible for bringing the business here. Can you speak to that part?
Yeah, so the planning department is not going out and seeking out Kava or whomever. That's something that the broker who is on the real estate side is doing that, or the developer is doing that. A lot of times we'll know at a rezoning who it is, because we do require a concept plan. But we're not the ones going out and picking and choosing what goes in a certain location. It's one, again, the zoning can allow multiple things. It's one, we'll use Mullins Colony as an example. Zone C2, so you have a Belk over there, you have restaurants, retail, all kinds of uses. They could go realistically on any one of those parcels, depending on the size of it, of course. But again, we're not going in there and hand picking, this is where the Belk's gonna go, this is where the Kava's gonna go. We don't really do that.
Right, and you have a team of 4. What all do they do? What are they responsible for? Can you talk to us about the staff and planning?
Yeah. So with the staff side of things, again, we have 4 folks there. We got a planner 1, planner 2, community planner, and then myself, planning manager. We're dealing with plan review. That's both commercial and residential. We're looking at signs. We're looking at how what a building looks like on the building side. We're also looking at guiding development through the process. We're talking to folks looking to do projects here. We quite often will have several phone calls a day saying, hey, I'm thinking about doing this business, where should I go, where should I locate, providing advice on that sort of thing. Work with a lot of other departments. Again, we kind of touch a lot of different areas of the county. So again, it's one that we're usually pretty busy running around doing multiple things. That's really the big thing about planning, is that it's never the same thing every day. There's always something different going on.
And you also work really closely with the Planning Commission. Can you talk to us about the relationship that Planning Department has with the Planning Commission, and then how it goes from there to the Board of Commissioners?
Yeah, so with the Planning Commission, we provide our recommendation to them. Again, it's a recommendation, basically a professional opinion. It is not gospel. They take that, they then have the public hearing. Again, the public come there and speak and do their thing. Then the Planning Commission themselves provide a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners. So again, it's one that you could have, our recommendation could be one thing, it changes at the Planning Commission, and then again, the Board of Commissioners is the last part of that. They can take whatever the Planning Commission gave them, and they could go the opposite direction, they could agree. Again, it's one that no application is done until it gets to the Board of Commissioners.
Right. So in most cases, there is an additional step after the Planning Commission meets, discusses it, hears public feedback. Then that's where the public hearing map comes into play too, because you can always go on there and see that then it's moved to this Board of Commissioners meeting, or look at the agenda and minutes to know when it's coming before the Board of Commissioners. Well, Will, thank you for your time today. We appreciate you giving us an overview of the planning department. We hope that you found it educational, and we do encourage you to reach out to them if you have questions. They are available and always happy to assist. And until next time, we'll see you then.